the time balance thing requires that you try not to be everything.
I like that. That makes sense.
Just because you don't change diapers doesn't make you a good dad.
I'm an investor. I just did single family for a while. Now we're multi.
Yeah.
But how do I build a really effective team? And how do
Success,
you train them?
man. I have never made a transition that didn't require me to surrender something. You have to surrender something. So
welcome to the Shane So podcast. Today's guest is someone I've been looking up to for years. One of the first business figures I ever found online who got me interested in real estate and in sales. And I did one-on-one coaching with him, and I ended up netting $888,000. And after just 3 months of doing coaching with him, he's built a brand that not only helped entrepreneurs 10x their income, but also inspired people to 10x their lives. He's a businessman, an investor, and a family man. Please welcome Grant Cardone.
Shane, great to have to be in my studio with you. And I did not know. How'd you make $800,000 off that one call? That one coaching?
So I did a one-on-one coaching. I paid that.
What'd you pay for that?
$100,000.
$100,000 to make 800.
Yes,
that's a good investment.
Yeah, so almost 10x. But I got 2 more hours with you, so I get to do that. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so you made a call. I don't know if you remember this, but I was like drilling you with questions. I really needed help. I got into multifamily because of you.
Okay.
So I bought my first single multifamily. It's 44 units, 0 down.
Awesome, man.
It was 6% interest only. We turned it around. It went from 2.5 million in evaluation to 5.7.
Wow.
And
that's $3 million.
Yeah. So you helped me do a cash out refinance. You connected me with a really good Freddie Mac lender. So I really appreciate that.
Who did the refi?
It was Michael Basinski.
Okay.
Yeah, at Berkadia.
Yeah, so they lent you what percentage of 5.7?
Well, no, at the time, whenever they refinanced it, it was around like the 5s or so.
Okay.
But I didn't want to cash out too much.
Yeah,
but I should have. I think I should.
So what'd you take out?
888.
Oh, got it. Well, that's more than 8x.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because you still own the real estate, it's still cash flowing.
Yes.
You just you borrowed against the new value of the property.
Yeah.
And pulled 800. So you made like $2 million off that transaction.
I did. And it's because of you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
So I'll tell you the quick story too. So, because I was doing single family and I built up maybe to around 200 homes at that time. And I watched a video of you online saying, even if you can't buy it or you can't do it, just be around it. So I went and just started calling apartment complexes and I walked around it and found out the sellers were saying all the motivations that the single family people, and I said, there's no way they would do seller financing.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I would not have walked those multifamily if it wasn't for you. So I just want to say thank you. Really, you changed my life.
Just get close, dude. You might catch a fish.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so I wanted to start this up because I know you're on a tight schedule.
It's all right.
So I just got married in November.
Congratulations.
Man, thank you.
Yeah.
And I did one-on-one with Elena too. So I did 2 sessions with her. And I just wanted to know how to be a good business person, but also a good family man. And honestly, I just met your daughter. I was very impressed with her. She said she's been investing since she was 8. But
since 3.
Yeah. So how do you balance life and everything?
Yeah, I think everybody sees me being a good father today. But what you don't see, Shane, is all the years that I wasn't a husband or a father and the price I paid. I didn't have kids until I was, Scarlett, you're 13. So what is that? 50, 52, 51. I didn't have kids till I was 51 years old.
Oh, wow.
So you see me being a good dad today and making the time today. Mm-hmm. But in reality, the truth be known, I didn't get married till I was 48.
Oh, wow. Was
single, roving planet Earth like a maniac, trying to bank. There was no balance, bro. There was no such thing as time balance. And I knew I wouldn't have been a good father then. I knew I couldn't be a good father. I couldn't have been a good husband because I was so focused on my mission, which was to get myself in a financial situation where I could actually possibly one day afford a lifestyle for my family. And, I started in business when I was 20 and didn't seek really committed relationship and family until I was 45. So 25 years, there was no time balance family.
Yeah, yeah.
There was barely room for me. It was just pound, grind, suffer, sacrifice, repeat the process, rinse and repeat, grind, suffer, sacrifice. There was no lifestyle. There wasn't planes. There wasn't cars. I wasn't even thinking about my personal health. I'm not recommending this, by the way. This is what I did.
Yeah.
And it was just grind, There was no reward time. There was no vacations. There was no funds, fun times. There was no golf. And it was just repeat the process, invest the money, repeat the process, go out, act broke, bank the money, invest in properties, go back out into the marketplace, repeat the process. And then one day I looked up and said, okay, now I need to start. Now I need to start rounding out the rest of my life. And moved from La Jolla, California, where I lived at the time, and I was living the Playboy life, got rid of that lifestyle, moved to LA, met Elena. Elena and I were hooked up together 4 years, married, had a baby coming, transitioned again, sold LA. This is 13 years ago, got rid of that problem. It was a distraction to what we wanted to do and create in our lives. And for everybody listening, like, I have never made a transition that didn't require me to surrender something. You have to surrender something. So you're in that transition. You got married, you'll have kids, then you'll have to figure out, okay, how do I transition? The last thing I would say on this is the time balance thing requires that you try not to be everything. Like, you can be a father, but you don't need to be the nanny.
I like that. That makes sense.
Just because you don't change diapers doesn't make you a good dad.
Okay.
I don't have to change the diapers.
Yeah.
That is not a requirement for me to be a good dad.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, because like you said, your daughter's 13. I think you have another that's 16.
Yeah, that's right.
I think you've been a good father from what I've seen over the last 10 years. Because even though prior to that, you wasn't married, you didn't have kids, you hustled heavily.
Yeah.
But now that you've got a family, you seem like you've 10x or 100x really your business, and still.
Yeah, I'm a great dad.
I can tell.
I'm a better dad than I am a husband, 100%. Like, I am just a great dad. I enjoy being a dad. I enjoy spending time with the kids. I'm able to make a transition. We also homeschool, which is awesome. We pulled the kids out of the school system.
Oh, that's amazing.
That wasn't for them. That was for me. So that when we want to go on a trip, they can roll with me. And I'm not violating some dumb policy at the school system. And they can roll with me, not because they're going to be better educated because they're at home, but because they can roll with us. They can be with us. But that requires vehicles, and financially that requires a big commitment.
Yeah, 100%.
But you can't be a great dad if you don't have time with your kids.
Yes.
I mean, if you're sending them off to prison every day, school, and letting strangers raise your children. No offense to any of the parents out there. I'm not giving parental advice. If they're spending 8 hours a day with other people that you don't know what they believe in, don't know what meds they're on.
They affect your children more than you do at that point.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
They're parenting more than you are.
Yeah.
So me getting a couple hours with a kid is not gonna balance out whatever they learn from the kids or the parents or the teachers for 8 hours a day.
Absolutely. So we were in here looking at your beautiful studio, by the way, and I noticed this picture over here, and it looks like it's your daughter. Is that your dad and your mom as well?
Yeah, that's my dad and my mom, yeah.
That was actually very touching. So my dad is 84 years old.
Wow.
Or 85 this year.
Wow.
And we held our first conference. That's another thing, too, that we're just trying to copy and duplicate what you're doing, copy success. We had over 850 people sign up. We had about half come, though, but we had a good turnout. But it was the first time that my dad came, and we have a picture of him pointing. He was very proud. And this picture, whenever I saw it, I just thought of my family. How do you believe that your mom and dad would feel seeing everything you've accomplished and also seeing how your daughters have turned out?
Well, they never met, right? So my dad died when I was 10. My mom died when Sabrina was born, 5 days after Sabrina was born, 2 years before Scarlett. And so my mom or my dad never really met my kids. So somebody did that photo. I don't know who did that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Because it represents someone with family, but like, how do you think that they would feel?
Yeah,
like,
they
honestly,
would feel, dude, like my dad would be, he would love these kids so much. He would be so fascinated by them. My dad would be so proud of the life I've created for myself. He wouldn't believe it. And then my mom, Shane, wouldn't, she would be like, yeah, you don't need all this stuff. This is not necessary. Like, none of this would impress her, right? She'd be like the plane and she probably wouldn't come to the big events. I remember the last time I asked her it was my 50th birthday party, and we were releasing the book Sell to Survive. It was the first book I wrote. I wrote it in 3 hours. It's now called Sell or Be Sold. And I invited her to Los Angeles for the book party. We were doing a book release and a party, birthday party. And she's like, I ain't coming to that. That ain't no birthday party. That's a damn marketing event. That's business you doing.
Yeah.
So my mom would not have been, she would love the kids, the girls, right? But my dad would have been like fascinated with them.
Yeah.
Like he would have been just like over the moon with them. My mom too, but they were just different personalities. I mean, the life that we've created, they would not be real to either one of them. But they would be very proud of what we've created.
Yeah. I don't know. That just picture just really hit home to me when we came in. So I definitely want to have kids. I was asking my wife, I said, how many kids do you want? Because I'm 38, by the way. So I've gotten married a little later in life too.
Yeah.
And I asked her, I said, how many kids do you want? She says, I want 5 of them.
Dude, I was thinking 5. That's what you should have, bro.
Yeah.
Have 5.
Yeah. So do you wish you had more kids? Is that what you're saying, basically?
Bro. I wish I had some Muslim influence in my life, so I'd have 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 kids.
Yeah.
It's a big regret I have. I have probably 3 big regrets in my life. One is I didn't serve in the military. I wish I'd have served a couple of years at least.
That's amazing. Yeah. 2,
I wish I'd have had more kids. Not necessarily boys. They could have been all girls. It wouldn't matter to me. Like, I wish I would have had more kids.
Yes.
And then when I say that, I'm like, I did pretty good with these 2. Maybe a third one would have taken me over the edge.
Well, you got the dog now too. I see that.
The dog. I wish I didn't have the dog actually. So if the dog didn't yap the way it does, Elena lied to me about the dog.
Oh, really? How's
She's
that?
like, oh my God, I found this great dog. This dog is perfect, and the dog doesn't yap. And I'm like,
Yeah.
She's like, it doesn't yap, it doesn't bark. I said, you're telling me the dog does not yap or bark? She's like, yeah. I said, good, bring him home. Fucking dog's known to be a yapper. Okay, they're one of the worst things about these dogs, whatever they're called. What are they called, Scarlett? Multi-poo.
A multi-poo?
Multi-poo is that they should be called multi-yap. Yappers. But the third regret I have is what was the third? Oh yeah. The third one, bro. The third one's brutal. Is just thinking too small my whole life.
Yeah, that's what I don't want to get into. And honestly, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and there's some business going there, but it's hard for me to be able to get around people that are like thinking as high level as you guys. So I find myself like traveling to California, coming here, going to a lot of networking events. Yeah. So what was the most important thing to you about doing events? Was it because of the connection with the speakers, at the same time helping people? Like, what was the reason why you started doing events?
Well, the reason we did them in the beginning and the reason we do them now are completely different. You know, in the beginning, it was like, okay, I needed a place where I could sell my products, period. Like, let's just keep it real. Like I was there, I'm 35 years old, 40 years old. I've been doing events since I was 31. And I was doing those events. I was doing 8 events a month, 8 hours long. No, I was doing 4. I was doing 4 a week, 3 weeks in a month. So that's 12 of those. I was traveling another 8 days a month. I was 20 days on the road every day, every week. From 31 till I was 45 years old. I was never home. I was out on the road sometimes 250 days a year without coming home. I would stay in Chicago on a Friday night because Sunday to Monday, I would be having to go to Minneapolis. So I'm like, rather than going back to San Diego where I lived, I'd just stay there and stay on the road. And so back then it was to get my name known and to make money, period. That was the reason. We were helping a lot of people, but the primary reason to be on the road was to sell products and make money. Yeah. Now today it's not. We just did this wealth conference we're in transition now. So I've been in a transition for many years. Yeah, I saw you stop growth conference. This is the last one that you're doing. We did 10 big massive events. These are 10,000, 15,000, 35,000 person events. That's amazing. Mostly celebrities. We'll never do those again. Everybody thought that was just a big promotional thing or create some FOMO or like, no, bro, it's not a marketing thing. I ended that part of my career. That's over. I don't need to sit on stages with a Kevin Hart or John Travolta or a major celebrity anymore. So it's not what I'm interested in doing now. So the wealth con. So then we started doing. We just did our second wealth conference. It's about finances, financial planning, taxes, tax structures, because we're going to shift the brand into being about more of a bank or an institution. And so the reason we do those today is because I want to bring in people. You mentioned earlier, you live in Atlanta. It's hard to meet people that really want.
Yes.
We create events around wealth, and then I invite Art Falcone. I don't know Art. But I'm like, Art, you've done $20 billion worth of real estate activity in Miami. I'd like to have you at this wealth conference to talk about your. So I'm able to attract people that I get more from than if I just went and had a cup of coffee with them.
Oh, sure. So you built a really good brand, not just the 10X brand, but a personal brand. And also you and Ty have both told me the importance of personal branding. What advice do you give to someone like me getting started? I've only been doing it about a year.
Yeah.
Why should I do the personal brand? And how has it been like good for you?
How's it been good for me? I mean, people know me. Yeah. That's good. People know you. They'll want to help you. They either want to help you or they want to hate on you, but at least they know you. You know, if you're not known, they ignore you. And the only thing worse than hate is people that just ignore you.
That's true.
So the moment, if you can get an audience big enough, it's going to become valuable to someone. If it's depending on what you're known for. Now, if you're known for motivation, if you're known for, like Tony Robbins does motivation and state changing and addresses people emotionally at some level. That's what he's known for. Like, what's the value of that long term? I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're known for kicking a soccer ball and you're able to do what Beckham did and go and bend the brand, if you will, from kicking a football to being a brand. And aligning with other businesses, that's a different kind of brand. But you have to bend it. You have to. Most brands are built with a dead end.
Okay.
And so they don't really go anyplace, or they go to an audience that can't really grow.
I guess so. My personal brand, I want to build the brand that, we do real estate.
Yeah.
We want to do multifamily. We want to teach people, but at the same time, I eventually want to start raising capital, do some syndications.
Yeah.
So what kind of advice would you give me?
Yeah, well, I would use the education to basically the beginning of the brand is to use the education as a lure to people to raise their hands, say, I want to learn how to do something about that, or I want to learn how to be you. A lot of people want to be the guy. They want to be the guy on stage.
They do. I know.
Dude, don't be the guy on stage. Like you could be the guy on stage, but the guy on stage is just, his pay is attention.
Yes.
Yeah. And it will seem like it could go someplace in the beginning, but maybe not.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not a business. Okay. Being the star is not the end all. It's to be the network that 100%. Is showing the star, right? So now we started raising money 6 years ago, and I can just tell you, I've raised more money than I've sold in products. In 6 years, I've been more effective raising money than I was selling products.
That's amazing, because you've been paying
for
cash
35
now.
years, huh?
Right, you've been paying full cash now for deals, no debt, right, on your new deals.
Yeah, we bought $600 million worth of real estate last year with all cash.
Congratulations. That's amazing. That's inspirational to me. So
and the reason we're doing that, because a lot of these decisions that we're making in the marketplace are branding decisions, back to the brand thing. So I'm like, the fact that you know that, see, you're like, dude, he just paid cash for 6 deals, 600 million. He paid cash. He didn't use debt. Well, that word gets around. That's branding. That is a marketing move.
Yes.
Okay. So when we go out and raise $1.7 billion, or when we add Bitcoin, Bitcoin to our real estate investments now and pay cash for both, we're starting to separate from other groups of people. When we distribute every month, that was a marketing decision to distribute every month. I don't recommend it to any syndicator. You shouldn't do it, by the way.
How often should I do it? Like quarterly?
Every quarter. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but monthly, you're like, they all get a drip.
But if you can afford to do it, if you could, in the beginning, it's not going to be very impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're going to have, let's say you raise $5 million and you distribute 250,000. It's going to be like 20 grand a month. That might be impressive to your audience, but not when they hear I did 8 million. So you got to build it up. So like in the beginning, you're probably better off saying, hey, I distributed 60,000 this quarter. Anyway, I'm getting in the weeds a little bit, but
no, I love it. Though.
You know, the most of what we do here, like my top first 3 jobs every day is to promote. What do we build? We should build things to sell. We should make decisions that sell to the marketplace, that market and brand something that causes people to be like, I want to know more about this guy, or I want to know more about that deal, or hey, what's that Bitcoin thing they're doing? You know, you heard Grant Cardone's doing this thing where he pays cash for a real estate and then adds Bitcoin and then buys more Bitcoin with the cash flow. Many of these things that we do are marketing decisions first. Yeah.
No, you're amazing salesman, marketer, and promoter.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to say, because your team, you have a really good team. They're all doing sales.
Yeah.
You have good, I mean, these film guys, they're top-notch people. That is actually one question that is kind of a side note is, how do I find top-notch people like this to work for us? Because like staff is kind of a new thing for me. I'm used to I'm an investor. I just did single family for a while. Now we're multi.
Yeah.
But how do I build a really effective team? And how do you train them?
Man. Success is the great people attractor.
And attracts them in.
It attracts people that want to, hey, I want to be part of that thing, you know, like people want to be part of something successful.
Yes.
And it's easy. Once you get successful, it's easy to recruit people. So look, success is so underrated in this country. It's unbelievable. Like, I don't know why people don't get it, bro. Success is the ultimate. It's either drama or success. So the problem with drama, though, it attracts the wrong people. It attracts drama bonders.
Yeah, more views you get with drama or kind of like...
You get a lot of views, like clickbaiters. People that clickbait me. I thought I saw you clickbait me once with some video, some bullshit video you were doing. But anyway, maybe it wasn't you. But you know, you see the clickbait. Grant Cardone is this. Grant Cardone is that. Grant Cardone's thing. Grant Cardone's going bankrupt. Grant Cardone's... But dude, it's going to get a bunch of views. But it never converts. That's what these dumbasses don't understand. They don't convert because the guy came for drama. He didn't come to get something of value. He came to get drama. And because his appetite is for drama, he's going to move from this video, maybe comment, he might, to go to more drama. And that's why they don't convert. But it looks like it's going to do something.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
So what you want to do is you want to have a more quality audience that moves to like I posted something. It's not always about views. Like I did a couple. I use X a lot.
Yeah, us too.
And let me just see here.
Yeah, I don't know how you do with all the hate. So I do want to ask you about that in a bit,
sure.
Because I can only imagine.
Because hate is just a...
But it gets your name out there more when they do it, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like, but I'm not doing it for that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so here's a post I did yesterday about the stuff that's going on in Los Angeles. Okay. It got 429,000 views on X. That's a lot of views on X.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That would be on Instagram, that would be 4 million. It could be, 4 or 14 million views on Instagram.
Wow.
Right below it, I did another post. Okay, that one had 430,000 views. I had another post that had 39 views. Now, if anybody looked at this, they'd be like, well, dude, bro, there's no comparison. I'm just telling you. Yeah. The one with 39 views.
39 views?
No, it had, let me see here. Not 39, 25,000 views.
25,000, okay.
429,000 compared to 25,000 views. Mm-hmm. The one with 25,000 views is going to make me 1,000 times more money.
Okay, so the more concentrated that...
It already got picked up by 2 media outlets, okay? Mm-hmm. They both actually got picked up, okay? 2 media outlets picked up this Bitcoin real estate thing I'm doing. But it has some place to go, meaning people can come in, see what I'm doing. The right part of the food chain sees it. Mm-hmm. Now, the other one that had 429,000 views is basically saying another orchestrated, organized event encouraging, contributing, law-abiding taxpayers and business owners to leave California.
Oh, shoot.
My wife called me as I was walking over here today and said, Jillian Michaels from The Biggest Loser, she's got a massive audience, okay?
Yes.
She wants to interview me from LA tonight about that. So
that's amazing.
So they're both going to work, but one's political. It's about problems in LA. And yeah, I'm going to get some media about it, but it ain't going to go anyplace.
Yeah.
Unless I run for governor of California, and then it could.
Okay. Yeah.
But the other,
I hope you do.
The other one is about a business. It's about something I'm doing. It's not going to get as many clicks or views, but it's still creating impact and a brand. Mm-hmm. And people start talking about it later about, you heard about this thing. So you have to think about, how do you post something that other people share and talk about? And that's where a lot of people, and these guys will never get it, by the way. You're not going to get it just because he can hold a camera, or these guys can do a camera, or they know how to zoom in and make the video, or they can edit, doesn't mean they know how to market. The content, the content is the content. Mm-hmm. And it is only as good as a guy can see the marketing.
Yeah.
So just because these guys are in here and shooting the video doesn't mean they know how to edit it, to know how to brand it, to know how to hit an audience that I'm interested in.
No, 100%. Because for example, I would assume what you're saying is kind of like LinkedIn. I would rather have like 1 million followers on LinkedIn than 10 million on Instagram, because they're all business people, right?
100%.
So, because I know you got to go soon, but I'm an introverted person, so I'm kind of using this as kind of a mentorship.
You don't seem introverted to me. I mean,
man!
If you want to just say that, if you want to say you are, you can. But
I guess it just takes.
Does he seem
more
introverted to you guys? I don't even know what you're talking about. I think that's some bullshit.
Well, okay. Well, how do I get out of the thing from like
I don't
getting
think you're
on
introverted,
stage,
bro? I don't know who told you that, but you don't seem like an introvert to me.
Well, introvert next to you, especially. I guess I'm not as outgoing as you are.
You're asking all the questions.
Well, okay. Well,
you came here.
Better now.
You came. I walked over here. You came all the way to this office. You're more extroverted right now than I am.
You think so?
You came further than I did. You're extroverted.
Well, I like that. Okay.
I only walked from that other office over here. I barely did shit. Like, I did nothing. I'm my office. You're outside of my office, in my office now. So I don't even believe the introvert extrovert thing. I think all these labels were completely made up to deceive people of their true potential. Mm-hmm. There's no ADD, there's no ADHD, there's no bipolar, there's no even the depressed. I'm depressed. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. If I light your chair on fire, you won't be depressed. You'll be focused on getting, putting the fire off your ass. So these are made up labels. They're used by the psychiatric community and by others to introvert people, to have them list themselves. My hair's too long. My hair's too short. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I'm too white. I'm too brown. I'm too young. I'm too old. It's all bullshit, dude.
So it's kind of a limiting mindset kind of.
These are labels. These are labels casted on you. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're shy. Okay. Well, watch when they're not shy. When they're around people they're comfortable around, they're not shy.
That's
so
true.
maybe I'm, maybe the little kid doesn't like you because you're ugly. That's, by the way, another label.
Yeah.
Because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So.
Okay. Well, I like that. Okay.
I don't think you're an introvert, bro.
You don't think so? Okay.
Not even.
Well, I guess I want to get more comfortable.
I think you can keep saying that to your audience because maybe it pulls in those people that also think they're introverts and makes them trust you more.
Well, maybe I'm just not comfortable. Like when I was getting on stage, I'm like, oh man, I just hate public speaking.
Bro,
I guess it's just one of those things.
Everybody hates anything they've never done before. They don't like as much as when they do it more than once.
Yeah.
The better you're at something, the more you like it. If you don't know what you're doing, you're not gonna be confident about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So somebody could say, oh, man, you have all this confidence? Yeah, I've done a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But if you drop me off, if you want me to do the Foursquare or a dance, my daughter wants me to do some Instagram dance that's all viral, I'm not going to be confident about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I'm in an environment I'm not familiar with. Why would I be confident? Mm-hmm. Why would people have confidence about something they've never done? It's not real. The way to get confidence is through doing this.
They're doing it. So moving the muscle.
And then you start appearing competent. Mm-hmm. And the next thing people say, oh my God, Shane, you're so confident and competent and you're such an extrovert. And you're like, bro, like bring me in a wine cellar where there's these, old wines that are in French and pick a bottle with confidence. You're not going to be able to, bro.
No, I won't. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't say Boone Farm, you're going to be lost.
Yeah, yeah.
He doesn't get the joke.
I don't get that.
Boom for him, wine.
All right, so you have we have a few minutes left. So I'm going to do a quick, just rapid questions, and then we'll do an outro because they say you have a hard
They don't
meeting
know.
right
These
after
people
this.
know nothing. Don't worry about these people.
All right, so rapid fire. So what is the craziest rumor you've ever heard about yourself?
The craziest rumor I ever heard about myself, Scarlett, this is a good one. It's the craziest rumor I've ever heard about myself.
Yeah.
Let me see, dude. There's a lot of them, bro.
I know.
The craziest rumor, there's so many.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you planted one saying that you went bankrupt or something.
That was
like
one.
time.
The bankruptcy video was one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even want to spread some of these. They're so stupid.
Okay. Right.
You know, I'm not a billionaire. Let's see. The kids aren't actually mine. I've heard that one before.
Oh, that's crazy.
Which, by the way,
they don't look like you.
Maybe they're not. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't get a test, so I have no actually proof that they're mine or not. So I can't even contest that. I do know that regardless, I'm going to be a good father.
Oh, 100. You're a good father.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. What's one thing most people would be shocked to know about you?
What would people do that I actually care a lot about people? I really, really care about people a lot.
Yeah.
And I push people because I believe in them.
Yeah.
And then I never really believed in myself. Like I underestimated what I could do. And I know that I believe that other people are doing the same. And I don't think people understand that that's really genuine with me. Yeah. And also I think people would be surprised. I'm a big prankster. I love pranks and I love to fuck off. I love to laugh a lot and have fun.
No. All right. What is the most expensive thing you've bought that you actually regret?
The house in Malibu.
The house in Malibu?
The house in Malibu, the house in right here. I regret both those purchases. I don't regret the plane purchase, even though that was very expensive, but I don't regret the plane.
Did you sell your new plane just now?
Yeah, I sold it.
Are y'all going to get a new one?
Probably.
No, okay. I want to see it one day.
Okay.
If you get one. Okay. Okay. Who would play you in a movie in the future?
Who would play me in a movie?
Who would you like to play you as your part in the movie? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the new actors coming along. Who would it be, Scarlett? Who would play me well?
What's the James Bond actor that you like?
No, those guys are all too old, right? Daniel Craig, maybe?
In their peak.
Daniel Craig, maybe?
Daniel Craig?
Yeah, maybe he could play me, I guess. I don't know, shit.
Okay.
It wouldn't be Ben Affleck because he can't. He went to J-Lo twice, so I wouldn't want that loser.
Cruise?
No, Tom wouldn't play me. Hey, stop it. Okay. I don't know. George Clooney could play me.
George Clooney.
I mean, an old version, this version of me, but he wouldn't play the young version.
Okay.
There'd have to be 2 or 3 versions of me.
Okay,
we need a drug addict for 15
that
to
might
20.
Be Christian Bale. He played a good drug addict.
Oh yeah, Christian Bale would be great. He's just he doesn't have the look. But from 15 to 25, it would be a drug addict. I don't know who would play these. From 25 to 35, it wasn't really anything interesting happening then. No, that's the problem. Nobody would be interested between 25 and probably 51. I wasn't interesting. They're only going to be interested from 50 to now.
Well, they want to show the backstory, though. You know?
They'll want to show the beat up stuff when, who's going to play me as a kid? But they're going to skip a whole bunch of places that aren't even interesting. There's 40 years of my life, dude, or 25 years of my life that aren't interesting. Because it was all about work and pounding and sacrifice, and nobody wants to watch that part of the story.
Well, I think it's interesting because technically you overcame being a drug addict. Yeah. I mean, I remember you talked about getting hit in the head and all that. I mean, all that would be really interesting.
I had 70 stitches put in my head and face,
Oh my gosh.
With from the back of a gun, the front of a gun, actually, the first shot was right here. Yeah. And then the back of a gun just beat me.
What I think would be interesting is like a movie kind of about you, kind of like a tale of two homes.
I don't think anybody's interested in that movie.
Because what home you started and what house you ended in.
Yeah.
All right. So last one here too. If Scarlett or Sabrina wanted to leave everything behind and be an artist or influencer, would you support that?
If they wanted to leave everything behind?
Yeah, they just want to leave everything and just say, I want to be an artist or just be a creator.
Whatever, bro. But we ain't staying at your house. You know? Okay. Let's see how that goes, by the way. Scarlett's in here right now. Let's see how that goes when she calls up. Can I go to France with y'all? No, I thought you wanted to do this other thing.
Yeah. Well, hey, Grant, I just want to say, really, I know that we came here last minute. Thank you for
no
taking
problem,
time. I want to speak for everyone too. You've changed a lot of people's lives, millions of people, really.
Thank you, man.
From me doing personal branding to me doing, honestly, trying to hold events and me getting into multifamily is because of you.
Yeah.
And every time I talk to someone, they said, because Grant Cardone said something. So, Uncle G.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you, man,
brother.
for doing this for me.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.